As I'm machering it up, I look out the window, right like that, and I see former President Bill Clinton walk by. And I'm like, what? I gotta go, it's Bill Clinton. I go running out the door, and I, hey, Bill Clinton! You know, and he walks by, hey, how you doing? You know, it was very exciting. I turned to the next guy and went, that's Bill Clinton! And the guy said, I know, I'm Joe Biden. I know. Apparently I met the vice president. So he walks around the whole day like, I'm Joe Biden, I'm Joe Biden. So we had some time to kill because apparently Jewish Heritage Day is an afternoon event. Mincha, you know, who knew? So we went to a briefing there. We went to, I think, Duke basketball won something, so they had a thing there for them. I don't know what it is. Is that good? Is that good? I don't know. I couldn't see. There's always tall guys blocking everything. The Jews were coming in the afternoon, and I was walking around. I did notice, though, one loose Jew on the front lawn of the White House. I said, look, a loose Jew! There was a loose Jew. It was a Chabad rabbi. A Chabad rabbi walked on the front lawn. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because I never saw a Chabad rabbi come 2 hours early to an event. I figured he thought it was yesterday and he's coming now. So, sure enough, it's Rabbi Levi Shem Tov. Brilliant, wonderful, fabulous rabbi in Washington. Runs all of Washington. But he was there that day making the White House kosher. Making it kosher for Jewish Heritage Day. He came early. So, I thought this was it. This is unbelievable. I'm going to get an interview with the mashgiach, the guy who koshers the White House kitchen. I put him up in front of the kitchen, got the lights and sound, and I thought, this is it. This is what my purpose in life. And I said to him, so do you kosher the spoons? And he said, yeah, the spoons. We do kosher all the spoons. And what about the forks? Well, you can do the spoons, you can do the forks. The knife? All right, sure. So I tried to get a gotcha moment. I figured I'll get him. So I said, is it milchiks or fleishiks, dairy or meat? He said, we have to, after the event, it's national security. We can't release that till later. I was ready to go home. I thought, this is it. Oh my God, I've got the mashgiach at the White House. So who gets such a... But the boys, they wanted to stay. Besides, I still had that one question I wanted to ask all the Jews. Any comments in Israel? So I'll wait till the afternoon. So they wanted to leave the grounds and get a Coca-Cola. I'm older and smarter. I knew that it was a big mistake they let us in here in the first place. Second time's not going to be so easy. You know, you walk in, they're going to go, you were here before? No. Sorry, it was a mistake. So we're walking around the north lawn of the White House, and I see Helen Thomas. Helen Thomas. Now, I knew Helen Thomas as a very famous woman. She was in a lot of movies. She was the most famous journalist. She was in the movie Dave and President. She always played herself. She was in the White House for 60 years. She sat in the front row. She always had the first question, always said, thank you, Mr. President, at the end. She was noted for bringing women's rights to the White House. And, you know, she was there since Eisenhower and Kennedy, and I think she dated Lincoln's younger brother, I'm not sure. But she's been there forever. So I was very excited to go over and see her. I knew nothing about her other than that she's famous and she's a big journalist. She was in the White House for 60 years. I was there for 60 seconds. I thought it was time we met. So I walked over to her. And I told her, we're new journalists. We're here for Jewish Heritage Day. We had yarmulkes and tzitzis flying. You know, I said, any advice for new journalists? And she said, always keep learning. You should always ask questions. Well, then I remembered, I did have that one question I was going to ask this afternoon to all the Jews, to start my entire life over, to go and do something for Israel that I thought would be good, so that they'll tell me about the falafel and the masada and the archaeology and this. Yeah, I'll start with this one. Hashgacha pratis, there is a divine providence in the world. You can sit at home thinking of an idea, you're not alone. Maybe the Abish to the one above will look down and say, okay, the falafel idea isn't so good, but I think I can fix it. I looked at her and I said, I didn't have my big cameras, they were all locked away, but I had my little flip camera. The little flip for college students. It's a 1.5 year old technology. It's something you don't know what it is. So I took it out and I said, any comments on Israel? And she said, tell them to get the hell out of Palestine. And I said, ooh. A week later, I was on Fox News. They said, Rabbi Nesenoff, when you said, ooh, what were you thinking? And I said, I was thinking, ooh. The Washington Post and New York Times had a bidding war on who would get my op-ed piece. The Washington Post won, and I wrote about a post-ooh world. I talked about the Jew who has a ram's horn, a shofar, inside of his very belly. Okay, and when someone wants to rip Israel out of it, his shofar gets blasted. Ooh, 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 ooh. I said ooh. Came right out. So I didn't know what to do. You know, if I was back on Long Island, I'm a New Yorker. You know, if I'm back on Long Island behind a bar somewhere and a bunch of skinheads came up to me and said, tell them to get the hell out of Palestine, you know, we'd get a bunch of bats out, we'd rumble it a little, you know, tough guy. You know. But here we're at the White House, she's 89, and I'm the skinhead. The whole thing was... It was very confusing times. So I thought, you know what, I'm a journalist now for 70 seconds. Let me ask the question. She said, they should get the hell out of Palestine. Where should they go? People always say, well, why'd she say this to you, what she said? No one ever asked her the follow-up. People just go, thank you, and they walk away. I said, where should they go? And she said, home. By the way, at this point, the camera was not so far from her face, but I had to move it closer, and then ultimately it was a very close picture. Only 100 million people saw it in the world. And a lot of people said I used a special filter to make it look ugly. I'm not that technical, I don't know. So I did move it closer because it's light and sound. I'm a filmmaker. I needed the microphone from the camera to hear her because in the middle of the whole interview, the White House lawnmower starts going. If you listen to it online, you'll hear. So I moved it closer, so we had that face like. I often wonder, by the way, why did the lawnmower start going on the White House lawn? What's their schedule? You know, what's going on? I picture, Michelle saying to Barack, the Jews are coming this afternoon, the place is a mess, there are weeds over here, you get the barbecue out, Barack gets out there. So, I'm just speculating, it's just I don't really know, So anyway, so what happened? So she said, tell him to go home. So I thought to myself, where's home? And she said, Germany and Poland. Game over, time out. Germany and Poland. I wish I can transport myself back to Poland, to the town of Drobnin, where Rabbi Rosenfeld, who we're wishing a refuah shlema to tonight. Okay, your Rabbi Rosenfeld, not only his family, his mishpacha is from Drobnin, Poland, but we're first cousins. Okay. I wish I could go back there to Poland. I wish I could go and see what took place on a Friday in the woods where the shtetl was, the towns were, the shtibels, with all the buildings. You could smell the challah being made. You could smell that matzo ball soup. You could see the candles being lit through the twinkling between the woods. You could hear Shalom Aleichem echoing off the trees. The song Eifin Pripyatchik just wasn't a Spielberg's background music for this movie. There was a Pripyatchik, there was a hearth that warmed not only the room, but it went up to the other bedrooms and warmed it. I can't go there because there is no more Shalom Aleichem, there are no more candles, there's no more challah, and there's no more Pripyatchik because there are no more Jews. They were erased by anti-Semites, real anti-Semites. So I stand on the White House lawn with my son as proud Americans and Jews on Jewish Heritage Day, feet from the front door of Mr. Obama's house, and this woman of 60 years reporting to the world says to me that the Jews should go back to Poland and Germany. I did ask her, are you familiar with the history of the Middle East? And she said, yes, I'm from Arab background. I have, you know what? In defense of Arabs, that's not an answer. Okay? I'll defend Arabs. That's not good enough. I'm from Arab background. So I started speaking to her in Arabic. Apparently Mrs. Thomas didn't know a word of Arabic, and Rabbi Nesenoff speaks two dialects, Egyptian and Palestinian. So the woman that was with her didn't think this was going well for some reason. She said, let's go.